On your feet! Get them going!
No background. Good afternoon, good evening. Good afternoon. Oh, one moment. Please bear with me. There we go. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever the case may be. Welcome to Cross Examinations Live. I don't know what's wrong with my camera. Something to do because I'm going through OBS. I don't even know, but I can't zoom in. Therefore, you have to see more of the mess that is my room. You get to see all of my t-shirt. I can do this. I'll be honest, I have a little tiny bit of a headache, so I'm not in the best mood to be doing the show, but here I am. I'm a trooper. I'm a super trooper, and it hurts just to pick up. I have no hand strength, so it's like just trying to pick up however many ounces of liquid this is. Grasping, lifting is painful. Constant pain. Speaking of constant pain, I forgot his name. Scott Adams? Dilbert dude? Old Dilbert dude apparently has, was it pancreatic cancer? Ouch. Yeah, he said he tried ivermectin and, gosh dang it, I can't get my hair to, because I have a headache. I don't want to put my hair back in a proper ponytail because like when I do that, it's like my head's tight and the pressure also adds to the headache. Nothing compared to having pancreatic cancer, obviously, but he did try the ivermectin and whatever that other thing. Sorry, I should have done all this before I started the show, but I'm not at my full sorts today just yet. I'm working on it. But yeah. So, I mean, that's obviously not a cure-all because, there have been people who have said that it has cured their particular cancers, but I don't think all cancer. I know there's people there's some people that they think that all panthers are all panthers. All panthers are spotted and black. All cancers are parasitic, which I don't know. I'm not a cancerologist, but I can't imagine all cancers are parasitic. But so for the ones that are cancers that are called cancers but are parasitic, I can see where an anti-parasitic like ivermectin would help. It's not a magic pill that cures everything. Sorry, I have a headache, Mike. I hope it goes away sooner than later. Me too. And why is my voice doing this right now? I'm irritated. Okay. What else is going on? Taxation without representation. Well, parasitic just means they have to have a host, right? No, I don't think so. I mean, whatever the they is. So I'm going to sound like an ignoramus here about the nature of cancer. Because I've heard different things from different sources. And I think maybe cancer might be too broad of a term to be like there's a cure for cancer. I think cancer might be a term that covers a bunch of different ailments, perhaps, right? So like someone said that, I can't remember who it was, that like certain cancers are basically toxin reservoirs. Like your body will, your T cells or whatever will collect the toxins and safe house them in a in a membrane, and like the more toxins you have, the more are stored in that membrane. And you look at that under X-ray, and it looks like a cancer. Well, what happens when you biopsy that cancer? You tear the membrane and you release the toxins, which spreads what you would call the cancer. But I don't think that's ubiquitous in the cancer world, right? I don't know. I haven't researched all this, but I tend to think, because I hear so many different concepts about what different cancers are, the more I think it is more of an umbrella term that should not be, like, is a melanoma the same as the same effect as a lung cancer or a pancreatic cancer or bone cancer or blood cancer. These can't all just, I think maybe it's too broad of a term. I don't know. I may sound ignorant. I may be ignorant. I claim ignorance, but I've just heard so many different things that I'm just trying to make sense of how these different things can all just be called cancer. I think maybe it's like when you say you have a cold, right? A cold is, or no, let's go with the flu. Because the flu is a particular virus. It is the influenza virus. But I've heard people say, oh, I've got the flu, like all my life. And those people did not have the freaking flu. You ever had the actual flu that'll freaking knock you on your butt and get you spewing out of both sides of your holes? The flu is a gnarly thing that kills 60,000 people a year in America. It's but people are like, oh, hey, my stomach hurts, I'm staying home, I have the flu. It's like, bro, you got some sort of stomach bug. That's I'm starting to think maybe people treat the word cancer, even doctors treat the word cancer the way normal people treat the word flu. It's just like an overarching thing for some peculiar illness, and they're like, oh, well, that must be a cancer. But I don't know. I should stop talking because I really don't know what I'm talking about. Don't take any of this as fact, ladies and gentlemen. I am not preaching fact about this. Actually, I have a doctor. Next time I see my doctor friend, I'm going to I'm going to ask him about this. He's not an oncologist, though. It'd probably be a oncologist I'd need to ask about this. It's not too broad. The problem is always the same. It can occur in any cell since there's duplicating cells everywhere. Or else my arm will just dissipate. Okay. It can occur. So cancer is a cell gone bad. Is that right? Yeah, let's do a little Grok search. That's my term for Grok research. Let's see what Grok knows everything. Grok can tell us. Grok knows everything. Hey, Mikey. What is the literal definition of cancer? A disease characterized by the uncontrolled growth and spread of abnormal cells in the body, which can invade and damage tissues and organs. It arises from genetic mutations that disrupt normal cell regulation, leading to malignant tumors or, in some cases, abnormal blood cell proliferation, i.e. leukemia. Since DNA is an error correcting code, how does cancer override the self-correction correction mechanism. Mutations in DNA repair genes. Cancer often involves mutations in genes like numbers, which encode proteins critical for detecting and repairing DNA damage. When these guardian genes are defective, cells can't fix errors, leading to accumulating mutations. Replication stress and error overload. Rapidly dividing cancer cells stress DNA replication, causing errors that overwhelm repair systems. High replication rates outpace correction, allowing mutations to persist. Epigenetic silencing. Cancer cells can silence repair genes via epigenetic changes, reducing the expression of proteins needed for error correction without altering the gene sequence. Oncogenic mutations. Mutations in oncogenes or tumor suppressor genes disrupt cell cycle checkpoints, allowing cells with damaged DNA to proliferate instead of being repaired. These mechanisms don't override a single self-correction system, but exploit weaknesses in multiple overlapping pathways. Each cancer type varies in how it disrupts repair, but driven by specific mutations and environmental factors. For example, UV-induced melanomas exploit TP53 mutations, while mismatch repair defects drive some colorectal cancers. What Grok said, it's just a cell gone bad and duplicating too much. It becomes invasive and your body gets destroyed. Highly simplified, of course. What? What resources does the body require to maintain cell correction? Several resources to maintain effective DNA repair and cell correction. Nutrients for DNA repair enzymes: proteins, amino acids, zinc and magnesium, B vitamins. ATP, carbohydrates, fats, and proteins from a balanced diet provide glucose and other substrates for ATP production via cellular respiration. Antioxidants: vitamins C and E, selenium, phytochemicals, flavonoids neutralize reactive oxygen species and cause DNA damage found in fruits, berries, citrus, vegetables, broccoli, spinach, and nuts. Glutathione, a cellular antioxidant, relies on cysteine. Nucleotides and precursors. Purines and pyrimidines are synthesized from amino acids, glutamine and aspartate, and folate-dependent pathways. Foods like liver, beans, and spinach support this. Water and hydration. Oxygen and micronutrients for mitochondria. Hormonal and immunal support. Lifestyle factors. What other questions? This is just making me ask more questions. It's probably not. It's probably not a topic for this show, but I was just thinking about it. So it's like, this was a very long squirrel. Sorry, guys. To answer your question at Holy Ketchup from the beginning, no, but I always poke Mike a bit on stream, seeing how American they're. Honestly, I feel like avoiding mutations, stimulating things is your best bet if you want to avoid cancer. Right. But here we are in a position where we'd like to see how to cure cancer. Obviously, you're not allowed to cure cancer in America, so because you'll lose your medical license. You do. There's a guy named Brzezinski. If you go watch his video on YouTube, and this is just one of many guys, but he discovered, he's an oncologist, and he discovered that his cancer patients lacked an enzyme that his healthy patients had, and so he developed a protocol to extract that enzyme from his healthy patients and deliver it into his cancer patients, and he was curing stage 4 brain cancer, and the FDA tried to shut him down and sue him out of business. because you're not allowed to cure cancer in America. I freaking hate this. I hate the American Medical Association. I hate the FDA. I hate the government bureaucrats that have turned sickness into an industry. That being said, taxation without representation. I was thinking today, how about representation? No representation without taxation. Oceanus Helios. Obviously, you're not allowed to cure cancer in America. What kind of stupid did I just step into? Wow, I stepped into some big stupid. What is it Einstein said about rejecting something before you've done any investigation of the subject, Oceanus? You just did that. Go watch Brzezinski and then come back and tell me how stupid it is. Also, there's another one called A Beautiful Truth. There's a guy named... Oh, what the heck was his name? Oh my gosh. Doctor from A Beautiful Truth. Yeah. Gerson. Max Gerson. There's a doctor named Max Gerson. I'm a molecular biologist, and you're doing your own research. No, I was talking about an oncologist that discovered that was researching his own patients and discovered that his patients who had cancer lacked a particular enzyme that his healthy patients had. He extracted that from his healthy patients, gave it to his cancer patients, and cured their cancer, stage 4 brain cancer. And he's got lots of. I think it was even he had witnesses in. I know I might be confusing the two movies, but there's another one called A Beautiful Truth. Dr. Max Gerson. He was. This is from the 20s. But his daughter or granddaughter runs Gerson therapy now, but they have to run it in Mexico because you're not allowed to cure cancer in America. So, and I know two people personally. Well, I don't know one of them personally. My father-in-law's, like, his best friend had stage 4. Was it lung cancer? It might have been lung cancer. And then my friend Theo's wife had stage 4 breast cancer, and they both cured their cancer with Gerson therapy. Gerson therapy is a combination of organic juicing, strict organic juicing, and coffee enemas of all things. Don't ask me why. But you go, and so I know two people in my circles personally. One of them personally, one of them my father-in-law's personally. So yes, they can cure cancer. Oh, they found a cure. Once again, have you seen the evidence I'm talking about, or are you just rejecting it? Because you're rejecting it without investigation, which makes you willfully ignorant. We'll just say that. This guy's a clown. He's saying stuff I've never heard before, so I reject it immediately without thinking it or without researching it myself. Ha! The incurious mind is a sad, sad thing. Sounds like pure bollocks. Well, then go look it up. Go research it for yourself. These movies are free on YouTube. They're documentaries. Go ahead. It's not hard. And look, you don't have to take it from me that my friend Theo's wife, you know what? Oh, shoot, I'm not on Facebook anymore. So my friend Theo and his wife, after she was cured of stage 4 breast cancer with the Gerson therapy, they totally changed their direction in life, and they started being like health nut preachers. But I knew them before she got cancer, and so, oh, they ate fruit juice. That's your mechanism. It's a little deeper than that. Okay, you keep saying you're leaving, but you're still here. So just dwell in your willful ignorance. It's so fun. Listen, man, I love your cross examinations, but this is dangerous information to spread. It's not dangerous. Go freaking research it. Look how angry you people get at the idea that we can cure cancer. Literally, the FDA tried to shut down a guy for curing cancer, Dr. Brzezinski. Go look it up yourself. If you don't believe me, it's well documented. But no, I'm tinfoil hat. Most people just do not realize just how important having a healthy colon is. Golden blow. Like Steve Jobs. Like Steve Jobs, what? Fine. For once, I'll humor you. I'll go look it up. All right. One of them's Brzezinski. One of them's A Beautiful Truth. And again, for the I don't know anybody personally who was cured by Brzezinski, so I don't have any personal connection to that. But I mean, it seems a very well documented documentary. But again, I know 2 people in my circle that were cured by Gerson therapy. Stage 4. One of these guys, I think it was the Brzezinski one. She had stage 4 brain cancer. She was being treated at the Mayo Clinic, and the Mayo Clinic just told her, well, you've got about 6 months max. So just go get your stuff in order and, enjoy time with your family, blah, blah, blah. She went to Brzezinski, and he cured her of stage 4 brain cancer. And she went back like 2 years later and called her doctor at the Mayo Clinic, and he was like super duper stoked that she was still alive. And she's like, yeah, we're doing a documentary. Would you like to be interviewed for it? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. Come to the office and blah, blah, blah. And they set it up. They get to the office and security wouldn't let them in because the clinic had heard about it. It's all on the up and up though. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. It's not a $10-20 billion a year industry. Pay no attention to following the money. It's amazing how stupid people don't know they are stupid because they are too stupid to know. Right? Isn't it though? Especially people who refuse to do the research into hearing things they don't agree with. See, that's kind of my thing. I've always been curious. And when somebody says something that I disagree with, rather than being, oh, here we go, this guy's a Looney Tune, I go, so what actually convinced you that is true? Because, I mean, yeah, sometimes people believe stupid stuff. I understand that. But I'm not going to reject something that I don't believe in automatically just because I don't believe it. Because I've changed my mind. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Deep Burrito. You need the evidence. Exactly. You don't reject the idea out of hand. I mean, you can just be like, okay, I don't believe that. But what's your evidence? Right? That's like the rational response to hearing something you don't believe. I don't believe that. But obviously you do. What is your evidence? I'm curious how you came to that conclusion. Let us reason together. Right? That's the reasonable, rational response, not the childish, oh my gosh, this guy's so stupid. As any claim, so proof. Show. Well, I can't show the entire freaking video. And you kind of have to just watch the whole video. Just to, you know what? This is something, it's something very curious. So do a rabbit dive. We've been told certain things all our lives, like there's no cure for cancer. There's no. I don't know, man. I'm black pilled on so much of the crap that we just were force fed growing up. Also, peer review. Well, that's another issue, isn't it? is the peer review filled with gatekeepers? It is the fact that the Mayo Clinic wouldn't let the Gerson team interview the doctor of the woman who was cured an indication that there are gatekeepers in the peer review process. Granted, that it could all be a psyop, right? Sure, maybe the whole thing's a psyop. Gerson just has spent his career pretending to cure cancer, and he's got a bunch of patients that were pretending to have cancer and then pretending to be cured. And then the FDA was pretending to try to shut him down. It could all just be a great big psyop so that I could look stupid on the internet saying that Dr. Brzezinski has cured cancer. Okay, sure. Why not? Americans also believe they are the best and believe any old crap they read. What are you, Deep Burrito? What's your nationality? What country are you in? That's a great point, Kirby. Peers always means tribe these days. That's right. There are gatekeepers, and you can't tell me anything different. It's all about the money. Okay, so you're saying that you believe you're the best, and you believe any old crap you read. Is that what you're saying? Because I read stuff I know I don't believe. I listen to people I know I don't believe. It doesn't mean I don't believe them just because I listen to them. I said Americans. Aren't you an American? Are you not American? You just said you're from America. Are you here illegally? President Biden was just diagnosed with cancer, but they are hiding the cure from him. That means Republicans are hiding it. You are a special kind of stupid. You're Italian in America. Well, what? I don't know what your time zone is. I'm gonna say buonanotte, but it's not nighttime in America. I'm an idiot. I don't know much Italian, so I'm not sure that this follows. They are hiding the cure from him. That means the Republicans are. Well, it kind of goes back to the original argument I was saying, right? I don't necessarily think that all cancers are identical, right? Like there have been I don't want to regurgitate all that stuff. And I don't know. I wouldn't say that they were hiding it. I mean, remember 2 years ago Biden said he had cancer on mic, and his staff said, "Oh, that was a gaffe. He was just making a gaffe." So somebody was hiding something, unless he was just being Alzheimer's Joe. I'm sorry, I keep hacking up like here. Maybe I need water instead of coffee. I can't find any scientists that were able to replicate Brzezinski's findings. So just skimmed through 10 peer-reviewed papers. They tried and failed. Well, why don't you actually watch the video and come back to me? And again, that's Brzezinski. I mean, they did the same thing with Gerson therapy, which I know for a fact one person living and alive today who got cured of stage 4 breast cancer with Gerson therapy. And Gerson wasn't allowed to practice in America. I'm in San Diego, Deep Burrito. So the Gerson therapy clinic is in Tijuana. So they can service Americans by, who just come down to San Diego and then go across over to Tijuana. So again, what are you going to believe, the people who are cured, or are you going to believe gatekeeping peer review? I mean, it's up to you what you want to believe. I know my friend's wife is cured. It doesn't. Correlation does not equal causation. Okay. If people keep getting cured, that is causation. Obviously, if nobody got cured, there would be no Gerson therapy clinic. Again, this started in the 20s. Do you remember a guy named Albert Schweitzer? Albert Schweitzer's wife had cancer, and Dr. Gerson cured his wife of cancer. Albert Schweitzer called Dr. Gerson the smartest man on earth. It's in the 20s. This is the 1920s. And you haven't heard of it. It's 100 years later, and the powers that be that control the peer review and everything else in the AMA and the FDA still want you to not know that Gerson therapy can cure cancer. Don't you find that a little odd? Is there proof? Is there evidence? Oh, yeah. Gerson was alive in the 20s, cured Schweitzer's wife in the 20s. It's been 100 years. Gerson therapy is still a thing that is curing people, but they can't do it in America because you do things in America to cure. If you say you're not allowed to say you can cure cancer. It's literally a fact in America. There are so many medical scams that made so much money in history. This is nothing special in that sense, to be honest. See, you're just... All right, forget it. Forget it. There's no point. There's no point in trying to convince people to look into things. Some of the attitude here is why the technology plateau is a real thing. Yeah. That can't happen. That can't happen. Why can't it happen? Because the people said it can't happen. And I believe the people. Well, about all the people that it did happen to. That's clearly not causation. People being cured of cancer who just happened to be going to Gerson therapy, that was clearly just random miracles correlated to them going to Gerson therapy. There's no causation there. Actually, there are cancers where they can say someone is cured. Who's curing cancer? Dr. Gerson. Mine was one of them. Oh, yeah? Are you cured or are you just in remission? I'm just in remission. The deep burrito, Pink Floyd fan, has something like a deep burrito. Sounds like just. All right. Anyways, what chapter are we on? I'm tired of just banging my head against the table on this. I know from personal experience, people who, never mind. I'm regurgitating at this point. I am regurgitating. Yep, scientists can be bought as easily as politicians. Actually, easier. They're cheaper. They are much cheaper. Just go watch Expelled. It's a great proof of point. The gatekeepers in academia and in medicine and science. The great white cloaked gatekeepers who maintain the status quo and they follow the money. Again, let's find out. How big of an industry is cancer today? Back when I was doing this, oh gosh, look, I have OBS running. Back when I was doing this, how much money is spent on cancer research and health care every year in the USA? Mm-hmm. Come on, get to the end. I want the whole total. Oh my. Oh, okay. Annual spending in this industry we call cancer is 220 to 270 $1 billion. Follow the money. You think they want to shut that spigot off? If they could cure cancer tomorrow, do you think they'd let them? If there was a pill suddenly, if say ivermectin actually did work and cured all the cancers, and it was $5 a treatment, do you think the industry would be like, oh, okay, good. We don't need $250 billion every year. I cannot remember what chapter you're on. My father had an operation last year. The cancer was super aggressive. Without operating, he would have like 3 months. Well, I mean, I think there's a point of no return on some of this stuff, but yep. Holy cow! Thanks for all the wisdom and teaching, though. I've learned a lot about the Bible through this community, and I'm grateful for that. Awesome. I'm sorry if you don't trust scientific research. It's not scientific research that I don't trust. It's scientists. You know why? Because unlike this weird concept that we've been ingrained with, that scientists are somehow above human nature, weirdly, every scientist I've ever met is a human being. And human beings are wrought with things like pride, like look, rejection of the unknown, right? Just look at the reactions of the people in here. What are you talking about? You can't cure research. Or you can't cure. They get apoplectic. You guys got apoplectic that I said you could cure cancer. It's human nature. It's human nature to reject the unknown. So this weird worship of scientists as if they are beyond human nature, and they're all Vulcans, right? We're just looking for the facts. We're only looking for the truth. No, we have no personal agendas. We have no pride. We have no preconceptions. We are Vulcans. Bull crap. Every scientist you know or I know, and any of them who has ever existed, is a human being with the exact same faults and foibles as everybody else. I can't really help you right now. I can't help right now. What's up? Oh, no, I'm probably for Michael. Yeah? I was just about the house. I want to see if I can help you. Oh, can't help right now. It seems you are projecting with that stupid voice when you speak of detractors to your claims. Try to professional. No. I am making stupid voices because I think it's stupid to put scientists up on some bizarre pedestal that makes them above human. They are human. I hate to break it to you. Edwin's voice is not stupid. Like, everybody has personal agendas, both scientists and the so-called alternative. I know. I'm aware. We're all human. But don't you recognize the pedestal that these guys, oh, well, I see you don't believe in the scientific process. No, I believe in the scientific method completely. I don't believe that scientists are beyond corruption. That's not projecting. See, forget it. Just lost his father this year due to an aggressive cancer. It was completely unexpected. He was diagnosed and he was gone in a couple months so fast. Wow. Yeah, that sucks. We're only human. We're only human after all. Da, 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 da. He's gonna read James 5. I already read James 5. No, we were in Hosea. Right? We're doing Hosea. Oh, you know what? My grok will know. I'm stupid. History. My grok will know. Scroll. Hosea 3. All right. Oh, you guys want to see what I drew last night? So good. Bible nonsense now. Didn't Jesus cure cancer? Well, Jesus healed cancer. Jesus can heal. And Drew, oh man. Oh yeah, you can't say Silver Surfer Black, man. It was Silver Surfer Black. And Jiminy Cricket was in the chat and commenting on if I was gonna make Silver Surfer a black man. So I just added man and I gave him an afro. And I think he looks cool. Dang. Deep Burrito, what is your reason for rejecting the Bible? What is your reason for rejecting the most trustworthy ancient document in antiquity? What research have you done that led you to rejecting the most trustworthy documents in antiquity? Why does Silver Surfer have an afro? Because he's Silver Surfer Black Man. Why is this difficult to understand? All right, let's go. Let's go, Hosea. See if I can get. Oh gosh, it's only 5 verses. That's right. Hosea 3 is only 5 verses. This is funny. All righty. Hosea 3, translated with deepest meaning. The Lord spoke to me again. Go, love a woman, beloved by another, yet an adulteress, as the Lord loves Israel's children, though they turn to other gods, craving raisin cakes of idolatry, their hearts straying from the covenant's sacred embrace. So I bought her for 15 silver shekels, and a homer and a half of barley, redeeming her from shame, a price paid to reclaim what unfaithfulness had cast away. I was curious about this. Because it's half the price of the 30 pieces. I wonder if there's some correlative to Israel, because this is obviously correlative to Israel. Israel is half of all of I wonder if it's half the kingdom. It's the price of half the kingdom. I don't know. I'm just thinking now. Is inflation included? I said to her, dwell with me many days. You shall not play the harlot, nor belong to another man. So too will I be for you, my love, steadfast, a vow of fidelity renewed. For many days Israel's children will dwell without king or prince, without sacrifice or pillar, without ephod or household gods, their idols stripped, their hearts laid bare before my searching gaze. That's interesting. That's obviously speaking of the diaspora. I mean, at least it's reflected in the diaspora, right? No king, no prince, no sacrifice, no pillar. without ephod or household gods, their idols stripped. Afterward, Israel's children will return, seeking the Lord their God and David their king, trembling with awe for his goodness, drawn to his grace in the latter days, their souls restored by the fire of my unending love. And again, I think that is post second coming prophecy. It all ties together, right? Can you cite a single biblical scholar that would agree that the Bible is the most reliable book in antiquity? I don't have to. Any biblical scholar, any antiquities scholar would know that the Bible, there are I think 26,000 ancient copies of the Bible, of the books of the Bible. The next most reliable book in antiquity is the Iliad, and there's like 500 copies of it. And then the drop off is huge. The drop off is down to like dozens of copies, all the way down to like 2 or 3 copies. So by reliable, it means we have so many copies of it that we can know for an absolute fact what the original authorship was. And 0 people who know, I mean, just that fact alone makes it the most reliable book in antiquity. It's unquestionable. It's you cannot question it. It's just a fact. The Bible is so what's the word, where it's like all these other things are super rare. Like I think Caesar's histories has like 3, 4, 5 copies, right? So the chances of you seeing a copy of Caesar's histories is slim to none, unless you're like in a research field and you like can go to the vaults where they keep this stuff, or the museums, or whatever. You could probably go to a local library within driving distance, and they'll have an ancient copy of the Bible. Then just point me in the direction of one scholar to prove the claim. I just gave you the facts. Scholars cannot dispute facts. That is what makes it reliable. Do you not comprehend this? I watched an interesting video based on archaeology questioning the whole escape from Egypt affair. Of course they question it. They don't want it to be true. Okay. Will, what's his last name? What's that guy who's been on all the Joe Rogan and all that stuff lately? Is it Will? You guys know what I'm talking about. Why is this freaking name blanking for my brain? Bart Ehrman even says the Bible is reliable. Several scholars hold a high. Alex O'Connor would probably say the same thing. I'm sure he would, because he's rational. Several scholars hold a high view of the Bible, believing it to be a reliable and trustworthy source, particularly within evangelical circles. Scholars, predominant defenders of inerrancy, include Norman Geisler, Wayne Grudman, and the contributors up to the Chicago Statement on Biblical Inerrancy. Wesley Huff. Wes Huff. There, I named one. It's so dumb. Yeah, Jordan Peterson too, right? Historically, Canaan was under Egyptian rule at the time, so they basically escaped into Egypt. But they didn't escape into Canaan. They escaped into modern day Arabia. Sinai is in Sinai is the real Mount Sinai is in Arabia. I'm not sure why. Yes, thank you. What's up? That guest list is huge. Yeah. So I put that to bed. Stupid argument. Da, 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 da. All right. Wow, we're 10 minutes early, and I'm kind of out of. Somebody argue something. Jordan Peterson, Wes Huff, Mickey Mouse, and Donald Duck. But the final destination was part of Egypt. By the way, Egypt controlled even Cyprus at that time. Oh, really? That's interesting. Yeah, do you know how Egypt got control of all of that land? It's in the Bible, just so you know. Not if you have a little to no recall like myself. I literally have to look everything up. I know, I wish I had better recall myself. I've had a crow following me around while I've been working in my yard the last few days. Oh, make friends with it. I know they invaded and installed proxy rulers. No, it was Joseph. Remember the drought? Remember the drought, the 7 years drought? People started by bringing their jewels and paying for the corn or the wheat, right? And then they ran out of jewels and money, so they started giving them their livestock, and then they ran out of livestock, so they started giving them their land. And by the end of the 7 years, people from the entire region had sold their land to Pharaoh, and it all became Egypt. I'm sure they installed proxy rulers and stuff too, but yeah. By the way, there is a mention of a general whose name resembles Moses beating the East Coast. Oh my gosh, there's a whole thing like they know, or they have 99% sure they know who Moses was, because he was like this guy, I can't remember his name, but he was like his story followed Moses' story from like an Egyptian perspective until they erased him from history. They like knocked off the faces of his statues and all this stuff. But he was a guy who was a stranger from a foreign people who was adopted into the royal household and then became a great ruler in, under Pharaoh, or a great leader under Pharaoh. And then he like, they called him a traitor. I can't remember everything it was, but I watched it. I was like, holy cow, that's, I mean, he didn't have the name Moses, but it was like freaking spot on the story of Moses. And then they tried to erase it. He even had I think, if I remember, they were even building a tomb for him or something like that. And they just stopped construction on it. It was a very interesting video. I wish I should have bookmarked it, because now I don't remember what the guy's name is. So it might be a little difficult to look up. You can befriend them, Tina, and if they like you, they'll teach their children that you're a good person. You are out of debate stuff. The Dutch had the best navy in history when it comes to trading, at least, and it's still the biggest company in the world. I always wonder, because you mentioned before the show started, Devil's Air, that you've been fighting the ocean for 1400 years, or since the 1400s, or something like that, right? It made me wonder. It's like, why do people, why don't you just freaking move? It's just like New Orleans. They built New Orleans on a floodplain, and then they built barricades to try to keep the floods out. then when the barricades broke down, or not the barricades, what do I call them, dikes or whatever, when those broke, lo and behold, the city was flooded. It's like, why did you build the city on a floodplain? Is there not enough land 20 miles north? Or, why do people build in the dumbest places? Yeah, like the Dutch. Yeah. Or like freaking Venice. Venice is sinking. Or so they say. Right? Watch it, Mike. This is a family show. Actually, Greece has a bigger fleet. Are they taking my trash? Please take my trash. I'm trying to switch trash people because one of them is literally half the price of the one I'm using. And like, I called them to get them to first to get the new service. And they're like, well, you have to get the other service to pick up your cans first. And I'm like, okay. So I go to the other service and I call them and they go, oh, if you want to cancel service and have us pick up your cans, you have to call this special number. I called this special number. Nobody ever answers the special number. So I've just been like leaving my trash cans out there for ever, not paying the bill. And like last week, after probably 3 weeks, they finally just took the cans. And then I'm like, good, except I have other cans. So I put the other cans down there and I'm like, take them. I'm not paying you. Take your freaking cans. And you know what they did? They took the trash instead. But now they're like stopped right there for some reason. They've been there since I've been discussing this. Okay, anyways. Big city built around the stone. All right, what? The area of tsunami in Japan recently had an ancient stone in that area. It said, do not build in this area of the stone because danger from tsunami. Venice has too much history to let it sink. I love Venice. It is nice. I love Italy. Italy's like, man, Italy's just freaking awesome. So beautiful. Okay, well, somebody was saying something. I've got a long ongoing debate with a Catholic in the comments of my latest commentary video. Oh yeah? How's that going? Kirby says, sounds a lot like Moses, a lot of cross-reference going on with stories from the Bible. Ish. So Moses being part of Egyptian nobility could be true, but the whole servitude of Jews is not confirmed, at least in the way mentioned in the Bible. Well, you also want to remember that the Jews didn't live in Egypt. I mean, Egypt proper. They lived in Goshen. They were separated from the Egyptians because the Egyptians hated shepherds and the Jews were shepherds. So they gave them a land where I guess they could shepherd sheep instead of they wanted them on the east side. You know what I'm saying? They wanted them Jews over there on the east side. Yes, Rome is superior. However, as punishment for our crimes, God turned us into modern Italians. Italy is romantic. It's so amazing. I can't wait to go back there someday. We went for our honeymoon. That was nigh unto 3 decades past. They deserve to sink. Justice for the Fourth Crusade. Which one was the Fourth Crusade? And this was a funny argument I had with my You know what? I only have 12 seconds. I'm not going to get into it. I had an interesting thing. Remind me to talk about my discussion with my brother on tomorrow's show. I'll get into that. But you just reminded me of something. So, anyways, thanks everybody for being here. God bless us all. We'll see you on the next exciting episode of Cross Examinations.